Hi, Lisa here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a sleep mask with the Martelli heart template set. To make your sleep mask, you're going to just need a few supplies. You're going to need the Martelli half heart template set. We're only going to use the large heart, and we'll get to that in a minute. You're going to need the Martelli rotary cutters. You can use the 45 or the 28 for this project. You're going to need a scrap of fabric. You're going to need some batting, a ruler, some elastic. This is braided elastic and it's about a 1/2 inch wide. And you're going to need about 14 inches of this, a tape measure, some scissors, and a marking utensil. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your large heart template set out, and we're not going to be using this whole thing to make it. We're going to cut it down just a little bit. You know what? It's not the large. It's actually the medium one. It's the second one in there. We don't need the largest one. We're going with the second one that's in there. You're going to line this up on your mat, and you're going to line up that straight edge against one of the lines on your mat, and you're going to measure over 1, 2, 3.5 inches, and you're going to draw a line. So this is where you can take a ruler. If you have one of those Sharpie markers, just draw a line right there, because we're not going to be using this part of the heart. We're only going to be needing this much of it to make the mask. You're going to take your fabric, and it doesn't take much. You just need enough so you could make both sides of your mask. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again. This is the raw edge. This is your 2 folds. I find that I am going to place this piece right here that's going to be on the fold, right up against the fold, and I'm going to line the line that I just drew on my mat, on my template, against the edge of my fabric. So you nice warm straight edge there. And then I'm taking this edge and I'm just going to place it against the 2 folds. So now I'm making the front and the back of it. And a little backstory on why I saw this was my granddaughter Chloe loves to wear an eye mask. And my daughter Chelsea does too. And she was sleeping in the middle of the day. Who does that, right? And she had an eye mask on. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I think I can make that out of a heart. So I grabbed my heart template, and sure enough, I was able to create one right out of our heart templates. Get that little piece right there a little shaped off a little bit better. So when you open it up, you have your 2 pieces. There you go. And how cool is that, right? So here's going to be your front and your back. Now, I'm using batting today, and I'm going to put 2 pieces of batting in between it. So I'm going to cut a piece for this one and cut a piece for this one. You could use double-sided fusible, you could use fleece, but I'm just going to use some cotton batting. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I need to cut out 2 of them. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to have a nice straight edge right here, because that's where I'm going to line it up on. And I'm trying to see it in my head. I think it's going to go this way. Wrong one. Here we go. I got to cut out 2, so I'm just going to do it one at a time. It's just too thick. So I'm going to line up this straight edge on the edge here, and I'm going to again put this piece right here on the fold. And I'm going to cut one out, and then I'm going to cut a second one. And I'm using the 45mm. You could use the 28mm if you'd rather use the 28mm for that. Now you're going to go ahead and get your piece of elastic. You need about 13.5 inches. So go ahead and pull some of this out of here. I'm going to clip it. And we're going to get 13.5 inches here. There's 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. Okay, so how to lay this out, you're going to lay your batting that you just cut out. Then you're going to take one of your outer pieces, you're going to lay it on top. If you want to pin it or if you want to use some basting spray, but I'm just going to lay it on here. It's a kind of a small project, so it doesn't really need a whole lot of finagling with. Now you're going to take your 13.5-inch strip of elastic and you're going to place it about 1 inch down from the top edge here. And you're going to just hold it in place with a clip because you're going to be taking that off once you get it done. So the thing is, you just want to make sure you don't twist your elastic when you go to clip it down about 1 inch on the other side. I think it's about 1 inch. Nope, looks like it's a little bit more. Probably need to come down about 2 inches then. 2 inches. Clip it in here. Clip it on the other side. Make sure it's not twisted. Lay it down about 2 inches down from the top and clip it in. So that's just hold it in place because then you're going to take your next piece and you're going to lay it down right over top of it. Take that clip and just re-clip it. Because you got that big bulkiness right there in the middle from the rest of the elastic. So you're going to hold it in place and then just clip it in. Now you're going to sew this 1/4 inch all the way around. And you're going to leave a 2-inch opening at the top. So start here, back tack on the top, sew all the way around. Stop right here, back tack. Then you're going to turn it right side out, and then we're going to do a top stitch all the way around. Now before we turn it right side out, we're going to take the time and do some little clips, because you've got a lot of rounded edges here, so if you do little clips, so I'll show you that at the machine. Okay, we're going to start here, back tack, work all the way around, just being careful that our elastic is still here in the middle, and we're only going to be tacking it down on the 2 sides. I have my machine set at 1/4 inch. And we're going to just leave that little bit of an opening so that we will be able to turn it. Okay, so I've got it all the way around. So the only thing we're going to do is just do some little, take the time to just do some little clips going around your curves here. That way it will ease in just a little bit better. And then here at this point, just kind of take out some of that extra bulk right there. Now I started using an eye mask about 2 months ago after I saw my daughter using it, and what a difference it has made in being able to sleep through the night. And I'm also one that loves to have a fan blowing on my face, and I couldn't understand why my eyes felt so dry in the morning because I had that fan blowing on my face. Since I've been using an eye mask at night, my eyes are not as dried out as what they used to be. So an eye mask has been quite beneficial, something I never thought I would ever use. Okay, now you're going to take it right here and you're going to go ahead with the 2 right sides and you're just going to push it through. And you're going to smooth out all the pieces here. Smooth it all out. If you wanted, you could take it to your iron and iron it flat. And then we're just going to do a simple little top stitch all the way around. And this is just a really fast, easy project to make. This is a really great project for kids. It would be really easy for them to do. Smooth it all out. I'm going to take these little pieces, I'm going to tuck them in. Now the very first one I made, I used with the fusible batting, and it just all stayed right into place. I just fused it onto one side. So I'm just going to clip this, kind of roll out these edges a little bit so I get it all the way pushed out. And now I'm just going to do a top stitch about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to have my machine set at 3.4, so just be a pretty little top stitch. Just be careful to not, and if you want, just be careful with going around the edge here. When I was first sewing this down, I just did a quick back tack over top of the elastic just to give it a little bit of extra strength, but you don't want it that tight on you. If you have to stretch it really hard, then you need to have a bigger piece of elastic in there. All right, so I'm going to set this. We're going to do a top stitch all the way around, and it's going to actually close in that little seam right there. And just clip all your extra threads. And there you go. Simple little eye mask. Kids could make this. And I tell you, if you've never used an eye mask, start using one. If you ever have trouble with dry eyes or trouble sleeping at night, because this really blocks out all the excess light. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Check us out at martellinotions.com to pick up any supplies that you might need. Thanks. Bye-bye.